Countries imposed a 2-week lockdown to combat the spread of the coronavirus. Had been under a night curfew along with the rest of the United Arab Emirates.
March 2020 happened. By April, I think there was that sense across the globe of what next? What does that even mean?
And all of a sudden, everybody was asked to stay at home and no one was using Careem anymore. And we had to stop our service.
We had to go through, reorganizations and cost savings and, really make sure that the Careem could survive through COVID.
Yeah, maybe worst day being at Careem was maybe the day that we let a lot of our colleagues go. We've tried as much as possible. I remember I was on every single phone call, 60 or 70 of these calls. They understood that there's something bigger than me and them at stake, and we needed to preserve it and make sure that it lives through this crisis.
When COVID hit, it was a very short period of time that we had to transition people to working from home, and I'm talking like less than a week. What was incredible about that was the way that so many different people came together to make sure that for colleagues, we were setting them up for success. We had a lot of the infrastructure in place already, and actually what we realized was we had this really empowering and trust-based way of doing business. And that meant for us that pivot to work from home, although quick and stressful in terms of actually getting it organized, we were very well set up to make sure that the organization could continue and be productive and successful.
It always was the hardest on the captains. They had their bills to pay, and out of a sudden everybody was asked to stay at home. Even if we wanted, we weren't able to give them any means of income. We came together as a team and brainstormed how can we help them. And it was really moving to see how everybody rallied around this idea of building a captain's fund.
Many of our colleagues donated to the Captain Fund to ensure that they were taken care of at what we knew was going to be an incredibly difficult time for them. And all colleagues, includes our CEO, Mudassar, who very generously gave his salary as well, which was, I think, something that really resonated with many of us in the organization.
And even if that wasn't so much and we couldn't move so much with it, it was still fantastic to at least do what is in our hands.
COVID had seriously affected Careem financially, and losing more than 30% of its workforce was a body blow to morale. But as lockdowns eased, a huge rise in delivery requests showed there was a light at the end of the tunnel.
Every testing and challenging situation is an opportunity. And while it sounds like a cliche, it was the case, right? Delivery in general, we started seeing that this is the right time for that use case to go up. We figured that while things are super turbulent and everything is up in the air, this is the time. We already wanted to be a super app. We were just looking for the right time.
Welcome to the Super App Launch Event!
Yeah! So the purpose of Careem from the beginning has been to simplify the lives of people. But we didn't know how we would simplify the lives of people beyond mobility.
The beauty of it, it will not all be operated by Careem. We will enable and give other startups, whether they're ex-Careemers or other entrepreneurs in our region, a chance for them to actually reach more customers.
We don't want to compete with them. We want to provide this as a platform for them to jump on and be successful. In a world of ever-increasing apps, ever-increasing use cases, how many apps are you going to download? How many times are you going to go through the identification process? How many times are you going to put your credit card on file? How many times are you going to get scared about what's going to happen to your credit card? Then there is a value component to it. Our customers who are loyal to us and who will use us more and more, we will give a lot more value to them through that. So I think between these two things, the argument or the case is pretty compelling.
The average person in our region still go through a lot of struggles on a daily basis. As far as I'm concerned, as a person, if they need any service that can simplify their lives, they should find it on Careem. And it shouldn't be any service, it should be a great service.
I think this is the most important part of the transition, where the brand of Careem changes from being a ride-hailing company to being a super app company. And what that journey means is going to be the challenge over these next few years, figuring out what is our DNA, what is our new DNA, how do we serve the region best. And we're finding that journey, and we're finding it with significant amount of success. The obvious candidates are things like food, groceries, and then we get into a more subtle space, which is the secondary layer of services, e-commerce, B2B services. This is where it gets really, really exciting. And for me, I think the beauty in all of this is when the super app disappears, the tech itself disappears, and it becomes part of the fabric of our life.
The super app vision is an incredible manifestation of Careem's purpose, through which now we can simplify the lives of people with everything that people need help in their lives. This region has 500 million people. We're still simplifying the lives of 1 million people on a daily basis. There is still 500x growth that is needed to simplify the lives of everyone in the region. So there's a lot of room to keep on growing.
So over the next decade, for sure, Careem will still be true to our purpose and our values. What's also clear is that the vision will have expanded. Now, where exactly will it take us? I think that's for us to see.
The ultimate goal is to build an organization that outlasts all of us, to continue to impact more people's lives in the region. Where we are, we're barely scratching the surface.
What we have at the moment for the next 5 to 10 years is a super app vision that defragments the region. You build your service on the Careem super app that gives your service the last mile logistics, the payment capabilities, and that service can be easily available to customers across the region to make their lives simpler. There will be an emergence of 2 or 3 large technology platforms that will become, let's say, the Googles or the Amazons of the region. Careem will become one of them. As long as you know where you're going, you focus on the next steps and have them open the next doors.